welcome to today's devotional. Today's devotional in the Psalm 119 series that we're doing is on the word run. And this is found in verse 32 of the Psalm. And it says, I will run the way of thy commandments when thou shalt enlarge my heart. So when we look at this verse, the word run means to rush or to bring hastily, fast. When we think of physically running, you're going to go from one point to another point quick or quickly. So when he says, I will run the way of thy commandments, that's giving another connotation of he desires to be in God's way. It also means that he's desiring to obey God's way. So when we run the way of God's commandments, that is the way that we desire to go, because we want to be obedient to the things that God has for us that are through his word and in his word. When thou shalt enlarge my heart, that is a desire for more understanding. So the only way we grow in understanding is through our obedience. So if we're not obeying the things that we do know, if we're not applying the things that we do know, then there's no spiritual growth. There's no spiritual understanding. Our spiritual growth in knowledge and understanding of his word, in trust, comes through our obedience to it. So if you want to run the way of God's commandments and have a greater desire for his way and for the things that he has laid out for you, then we need to obey in the little things. We need to obey in the things that we already know what to do. James says that whoever knows what to do is good or right and doeth it not, to him it is sin. So again, it's not about how much you know. You know, you can't say, well, I don't really know a whole lot, so, I'm off the hook. Because it's not about how much you know, it's about what you do know and how you're living that out, how you're applying that. So think about that word run. Okay, is God's word something that you run towards? We can also think about this in times of trouble. Okay, do we sit back and complain? Do we sit back and want to have a pity party? Or do we run the way of his commandments when there are troubling times upon us, when we're going through a hard time? Because what we do in those hard times is also a sign of obedience to him. A lot of times when trials come upon us, we complain, we get frustrated, but yet God says the trying of your faith, right, worketh patience. So when trials come upon us, we want to be able to wait with joy. We want to be able to wait with an expectation that God is going to see this through and that all things work together for good. And no matter what it is or what the outcome is, God is in control. And God only brings good things about in our lives. Because God's intention for our life is that our heart would be enlarged. God's intention for our life is that we will grow spiritually. Because that's what our mindset needs to be. Again, Colossians 3, set your mind on things above, not on things of the earth. So eternity is forever. So our spiritual growth is what's important. And so as we go through, the physical things that come upon us, and, there's hurt, there's disappointment, there's frustration, run the way of his commandments. Go towards his word. Don't delay in running to his commandments. Don't delay in obeying, because those are the things that's going to bring peace. Those are the things that's going to have a good outcome. Those are the things that are going to help you grow spiritually. So think about this word run for the next few days or the week, and where you are right now, how can you run to God's word? Do you have a desire that your heart is enlarged? Do you have a desire for more understanding? So as you learn to run towards his commandments, may God give you the peace and the joy that you desire, because as his children, that truly is our desire. But it only comes through seeking him. It only comes through running to him and obeying him. So just pray that you will look at this word run and do that these next few days, and learn to do that as you go through each step. Till we have the next devotional, you have a good day. Bye-bye.